Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jesus. Gotta scooch in here. Welcome back to the Tayler Yarish Show. This is episode. You know what it is. You clicked on it. A lot has happened. Since we last recorded. Last episode, I was on my way out to California to officiate a wedding, which I did. It was nice, very nice, beautiful wedding. But also, the big news, the vid finally got me. Finally got the COVID. I won't bore you with my COVID story, but I guess I'll talk about it briefly. Part of me didn't even want to say even that I got it, but, we like to come on here and tell the people what happened, how it is. I got COVID, and it's not really much of a story. I just started feeling sick, and then I felt worse the next day, and I tested, and I had it, and that's pretty much that's it, God, people want you to have like some big tale as to why. They want to know why you got it or how you got it. That's where the real currency is in a COVID story, People want you to be like, I was at a party of 1,000 people, and fucking Def Leppard showed up, and we were doing coke, and it was and that's how I got COVID. Yeah, don't have a story. Probably just, I don't know, was in a group of people, someone had COVID. What are you going to do? I don't have it now. I'm all better. I was only sick for a couple days, and then, I went on a run. I felt not great, but it's also because I haven't ran in a while, and I probably ate something just before that I shouldn't have. But, then that's I usually do that anyway, because I self-sabotage for whatever reason. But yeah, that was it. What else? Someone got slapped. I know you heard about that, unless you live under a fucking rock. Speaking of rock, no, just kidding. Yeah, that was what a shit show that was. I know everybody's already talked about it at length, and it's such a thing in the rear view, but it's just a meme forever now, and it kind of suck. Like it's crazy how that thing could just be born, and then all right, now this is here forever. This is a part of just culture now. The slap, it's just part of everything. I mean, I know it's technically very bad PR for Will, but I bet you there were a good amount of people in that audience who, after sawing the attention that it got, they were like, man, what I wouldn't do for just a little, like, if you think there are people in that audience who would not, if they knew they'd get the attention by slapping Chris Rock, they would have done it. They would have done it. Even you're like, oh, well, Will almost probably ruined his career. It's going to be a stain on his legacy. Yeah. There's people who don't give a shit about that. There's people here are like in and out. I'm here to make money. I'm here to fucking, it's all clout. You can be the villain today and make money off of it. You just got to, you got to pick that path. You're not going to be in the next Avengers movie, but you don't have to be. If your heart's not in it, there's probably someone in, in the upper deck of the Oscars. They're only there because the director had like an extra ticket and he pitied you or whatever. You had like one line in a B film. There's those people where it's like, how long am I doing this? But you could run your ass down from the upper deck, jump up there and give them a quick 1-2, and then boom, you go viral. I mean, they'll be like, who the fuck is this? Maybe it doesn't work if you're not a known guy. But yeah, you slap them and then you start talking about it. You start doing interviews, money, photographs. You do a fucking cameo. Dude, if you slap Chris Rock at the Oscars and started a Cameo account, and then all your cameos are like, happy birthday, and then you just like slap the camera or whatever, dude, that would be fucking, you'd make so much money. It'd be ridiculous. There's definitely people that would choose to be the villain if it meant that everybody knew you, you know? Like it's like Whoville. All the townspeople in there, they're all cheerful, but who do they all know? They all know the fucking Grinch. Even though he's the most hated guy, there's people that would choose to be the Grinch because he's the most known. That's all it is. It's all fucking clout, baby. That's all we want nowadays. We're obsessed. We're obsessed. Let me just fix this real quick. But yeah, so then they banned him. He's gone for 10 years from the Oscars, which who gives a shit, you know? I don't really care. I don't think Will Smith's going to like gain any more fans by winning an Oscar, being at the, you know what I mean? He's Will Smith. You know what you're going to get. But there was the dude who, this just came out. What's his name? Harry Lennox? Yeah, Harry Lennox. He said that Will Smith should return his Oscar to restore the honor of the award. And I think it's a little heavy. You know, I think it's a bit much. To restore the honor of the award. It's like, all right, you know, it just seems like a lot. Also, why do you give a shit, you know? Like, I was thinking, why does this guy give a shit? Here's my conspiracy. Here's my thought. Harry Lennox played one of the dudes in The Matrix who was opposed to going after the machines, who was also on his side in that movie, but then went against him to join Neo to go fight the machines. Who played that character? Jada Pinkett Smith. Huh? So I think maybe Harry is still in character and he's salty over Jada betraying him and joining the other people that now he's trying to punish her through Will. Is it a long shot? Maybe. But that's just... because otherwise, why would you give a shit? But, yeah, I mean, he's just getting fucking chewed alive on... yeah, that's how you say that. He's getting eaten alive on Twitter right now because everyone just goes right for the top shelf on the rebuttal, you know? They're like, well, Harvey Weinstein didn't have to give back. You're right. He didn't. They didn't ask for him back. And I don't think Will should have to get... I mean, yeah, you're right. It's so funny, though. Like, it's like the argument... they're using Harvey Weinstein, who they hate, obviously, to make a point about why Will shouldn't have to give his back. But it's like, yeah, Will's art was divorced from the action that he took. The award was for the amazing work that he did. So it's funny that if you're going to use that logic, you then just have to acknowledge that Harvey Weinstein was amazing at what he did. And he was. I mean, just how many friggin' Oscars? He had like 80 Oscars. You know, you're doing something right. But there are still people that would be like, no, he was shitty. Even his movies were shitty. And I hate when they do that. I hate when they go, like when someone gets canceled and then, I mean, it's not even really getting canceled. But I hate when somebody like gets in trouble and they go, there's people that pile on to that extent, where it's not even just what they did was wrong. Now everything that they did previously in their career has to also be shit now, you know? They do that a lot with people who get in trouble. But yeah, you don't want people returning their awards, okay? I mean, like the Academy's just not going to fucking, you know, what are they going to do with them? What do you think they're going to do if he gives back his awards? I guarantee they're just going to fucking etch the name off. They're going to recycle him, you know? If you make Harvey turn in his awards, they're not just going to... Otherwise, what's the only other option? Throw them away? No, they're going to fucking re-gift him for the next 80 years. And now you got some, you know, next time Meryl Streep goes up there to accept the goddamn Oscar, it's going to be Harvey Weinstein's Oscar. and she has no idea. It's just been sitting on the mantle of some sex dungeon fireplace for the last 10 years. And, like, I don't know what's to begin. Also, is that, at this point, if you didn't do it now, you're not really punishing him. Like, taking his Oscar is only really a fucking a dig and a knockdown if he doesn't go to jail. Right? Because it's like once he's in jail for however long he's, 30 years or whatever, once he's in jail, he's probably going to die there. It's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. An Oscar doesn't buy me a fucking new toothbrush at the commissary. I don't care about the Oscars. And it's like, as much as you can like take away the physical statue, you can't take away the fact that they gave him to him at the beginning, so it doesn't really change anything, Like, if they make Will Smith give the Oscar back, it's not going to change how people feel about his performance in the movie. I didn't see the movie. Was it good? I don't really give a fuck about tennis, and to watch, I'd watch a movie, I guess, with the real Williams sisters. If it was just them play, like, I'll watch them play tennis. Everybody else, just because they fucking get into it, right? Everybody else, I don't really care about. But it's a movie about their dad who, like, drove them to practice and cut up orange slices. I mean, what? What is this? Again, I'm sure he was great, but it seemed like kind of a gimme, like all right, we'll give you one kind of Oscar. It's not his. I don't know if, I mean, again, I'm judging this off of not seeing it, but I don't know if is it his best performance ever? Maybe. Is it Will Smith's best performance? I mean, Leo DiCaprio, The Revenant wasn't his best performance. They gave him for that. He had a ton of other hits, I don't know. I don't know when they choose to do that, but I have been feeling better. I went on a run today, and I haven't seen. I saw something I've only ever heard about. I didn't know it was a real thing. Apparently, and I looked it up. Apparently, in New York, they're bringing back the guardian angels. Do you know what this is? These are like a group of people who are supposed to, like, protect the neighborhood. It was started in, like, the 80s or something like that, and I guess the idea is they go around and they just beat the shit out of people. But I saw the two people that were walking down the street. First of all, it was like noon, and they're walking down in the full regalia, pacing the streets. I'm like, dude, we're in Astoria at noon. Like, how much crime are you really running into? It's easy to be a guardian angel when you're guarding Astoria. Go guard Brownsville, New York. Go. We're in Astoria, Queens. Go fucking deeper into Queens and see if you'll keep the jacket on. Tough guy. I don't know. Also, the guy was fucking old. He was really old. And then there was a girl next to him who, like, may have been his daughter. She was young. I don't know. Like, this thing was starting in the 80s. When they said they were bringing it back, I didn't know they were bringing back the original fucking members to walk the street. That doesn't make me feel any safer. It's like they got, like, some Letterman jacket on. They're wearing a beret. It's all bright red. It's really embarrassing. It's like also, like, now they see you coming. You have a big fucking sign on your chest that says Guardian Angels. I feel like vigilantes should be discreet, Like, Batman was a vigilante, but he doesn't need to be discreet because he fucking comes out of the shadows. Spider-Man fucking slings down from his web, but, like, you're just a guy on 2 feet. And I don't know. I was running past him, and I felt like I had the thought. I'm like, I could take that guy. If I really, he was bigger than me. No doubt. No doubt he was bigger than me, but he was old. And I feel like if I just got one good kick on his knee, and just kind of made it buckle a little bit, if I could get one good kick, and I feel like I'd be able to take him. The girl, absolutely. She's a one punch One punch and she's going down easy. But the guy, I'd have to work him a little bit. But yeah, apparently that's where we are in New York. I mean, literally every day there's like someone. I saw a thing this morning. It's like, oh, guy just gets stabbed in the head. Stabbed in the head. That's like so much. Because I didn't read it, but he probably died. That's how many fucking of these things happen every day. I'm not even like clicking on the article. It's just like, oh yeah, another person stabbed. Oh, another person stabbed. But it just said stabbed in the head. I mean, there's not a lot of good ways to get stabbed in it. If it just said stabbed, it'd be like, well, maybe it was like in his butt or something. You know, maybe you can get stabbed and live to tell the tale, but there's not many places you can get stabbed in the head and have it go well for you, you know? But yeah, dude just got fucking jacked up. Like, what are you going to do if that guy comes towards you? Mr. Guardian Angel? You going to fucking frisbee your beret at him and then hope he can't catch you as he slashes your fucking neck? Dude, there's legit slashers out here. It's bananas, you know? Of course, that's why you're in Astoria. Go to fucking, go uptown and do that. I don't think so. I like to be a fucking vigilante, you know? I feel like a vigilante every time I walk out of like a superhero movie. I have that thing with movies where I get like out of body like relation to the character, you know, like especially action, like kicking ass type movies. I mean, I had it more when I was young, but like I'll watch like a fucking Batman movie, and for a good like 2 minutes out of that theater, I'm like, I protect this city, you know. Like I have this thing where I watch it on TV, and then it seems possible, and I'm like, I could be that, you know. Like Brad Pitt in fucking the Hollywood movie, you know, where he beats the shit out of Bruce Lee. Like, you walk out of the theater and I'm like, I could fucking, dude, I'll fight someone right now. You know? I've never been in a legit fight, and it's scary how much, like, up in my head, I'm like, I could fucking, dude, if I needed to, I could fucking scrap. You know? You don't even want to see me go crazy. Like, I've said that out loud seriously to people, being like, dude, if I need to, like, I'm fucking fire. Like, I'll go crazy. I have no idea what I'll do. I'll probably gas out in 2 minutes, you know? I got one good swing in me. I'm literally battling 2 shoulder injuries because I punched a punching bag too hard incorrectly, and I tore the AC joints in both of my shoulders. Like, I'm not a tough dude. You know? I'm not saying I'm gonna be a fucking guardian. I'm not guarding anybody. I can't even guard myself against a punching bag. Like, I got in a fight. I fought a punching bag for like 10 rounds, and I hit them too hard, and I now have a debilitating shoulder and back injury for the past 4 years, you know? I mean, it's just so funny. Like, I guess that's just all ego. That's all ego of, I don't know. I don't know where people get it that they can do things that they can't do. Like, the idea of what their body is physically capable of, you know? Because we've played out, you know, if you're on the subway or something, you're on the platform waiting for the train, and there's some sketchy dude who's walking towards you. I've played out the scenario of, like, what would I do? All right, he's coming towards me. You know, he's kind of like staggering, but I would probably try to sidestep him, hit him, or maybe just one good kick. Maybe one good just kick to the chest. That'd probably put him back. Like, I've walked through this thing, but most likely what would happen is I would try to de-escalate the situation by talking. And then I would if I really felt like I was in danger, I would probably run away. You know, just because like I don't know what the point is. Like, what is the line? I don't know what my line is. I don't know what my line is. It's like, dude, once you cross that, it's fucking, it's on. Like, I guess someone would have to hit me first or like push me. No, even if they push me, I'd probably just run. Like, if they hit me, I'd have to literally get into that. It's not even fight or flight because I would flight, but like, yeah, someone would just have to be actively attacking me, I guess, for me to do anything. Because I don't know what like, if like if I don't want to be like surprised by a homeless man's like quick action and all of a sudden I just deck him in the face because I thought he was coming for me. I've had people, I've been like at one end of the platform and I've heard like a crazy guy was walking towards me. I was on the phone with Kate when this happened. It was like late at night. I was on the phone with her and there's this guy like yelling at everybody. And then like he's yelling at me. I'm the only one at the end of the platform. And he's just walking towards me and he's just yelling shit. And I'm like, I'm going to try and just walk around him. And like I was walking, and as I was walking, he was like yelling at me. And yeah, I mean that would have been the perfect time where it's like you're not threatening me. He wasn't saying direct threats, but he was screaming at me, coming towards me. He's screaming at everybody else. I don't know what he's capable of. Like if I had a fucking like, little police baton or something in my back, I just gave him a fucking rat. I thought, dude, I had the thought of doing it, even though I didn't have the baton on me. I've thought about just hit the fucking, I always want to go for the leg for some reason. There's something badass. Everyone goes for the head. There's something badass about just like hitting someone right in their leg and just taking them out, Because when you hit somebody in the legs, people think you know shit, People are like, oh, dude, he actually knows weaknesses and shit, I'm like, no, I don't. That's just the closest thing to my height is his legs. But yeah, like I walked it out in my head, like what would happen. But yeah, I didn't do anything. I just fucking walked to the end of the platform and that was it. And I was like, that was crazy. But I didn't, my heart was going. But I don't know. I don't want to be in a fight. This is why I should learn to fucking fight. So I'm not afraid of like confrontation, I guess. I still have like this part of me like walks down the street of like, my brother's gonna beat up your brother. Like, you know what I mean? The shit you would say when you were younger. Like in my head, I'm fucking 28 years old, right? 28 years old, balding dude. But in my head, I still walk around like it's inappropriate to beat me up. Have I talked about this before? Like in my head, I'm like a kid that you can't hit, Like if you hit me, I'd be like, what are you crazy? Like, what are you trying to go to jail? I'm a kid. Like obviously, you can get in trouble for hitting a normal person, but like in a bar, let's say, like the idea that you can just get beat up now and people don't really care. People care if you hit kids, but nobody, like I'm in my late 20s and I'm bald. Not that it like kind of just adds to it. I don't know why. It just does. I guess because it makes me look older. But yeah, dude, that's fucked up. That's like there's like a threshold of like you're a kid and you can only be hit by kids. But kids, there's a short range of it, You got fucking 12-year-olds up to, teenagers or whatever. And that's it. That's the gamut of... And even when you're a teenager, you can really only be hit by other teenagers. And when you're like... If you're 12, a teenager's not going to hit you. You know what I mean? So like even as a kid, you're in your own fucking circle. But once you're an adult, you can get your ass kicked by all adults. That's crazy. Like, I could get in a fight with a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old. Because they're both adults. Like the range, the age range just blows up as soon as you're just like, yeah, adults can fight you. Like, that's terrifying to me. I'm not even viewing myself like that. Not ready for violence. Anyway. Oh, speaking of violent people, rather, did you see? So John Hinkley Jr., the dude who attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan, do you know he plays music? I had no idea. He's like he's got a whole other life now, And he plays music, plays guitar, and he just booked a concert in Brooklyn. This is the guy who tried to assassinate the president. He was booked for a concert to play. I mean, I have to go. I feel like you gotta go. It's crazy. Like, and the reasoning behind, I had this story up. The reasoning behind why, this was the guy who was obsessed with Jodie Foster and the movie Taxi Driver. And he argued, or his lawyers argued in court, that was the reason that drove him so crazy that he tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan. And they fucking bought that story. He got off. He pleaded insanity, and he got off. He was also, obviously unsuccessful. But yeah, it's crazy now. Like, he's just like a regular kind of older dude now, and he plays guitar, and he's got a fucking concert. I think that's great. And also, he's on Spotify. He's got his Spotify picture is literally just like, it's like every old dude profile picture on Facebook, just kind of not ready for the photo and just kind of hit the thing. All right, I guess that's the photo. No redos. No redos. Like, here's the fucking, I don't need to I'll put it up on the fucking screen. But yeah, he's just kind of like, let's play one of his songs. I don't think this will, not that I even care if this gets flagged, but John Hinkley. I mean, not terrible. Kind of breaks your heart, doesn't it? I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy. He sounds, he's probably a lonely guy. That's how he had all that time to just take up guitar and everything. Well, apparently, this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part that I read, is that, like, he is so happy to be doing this concert because he's had like this lifelong dream of like playing guitar and being a musician and everything, and like he's finally fulfilling it, Like, this is why it's important to go after your dreams, okay? Because look at what happens when you ignore them. You try to assassinate the president, okay? That's what happens when you don't go after your dreams. So you know what? Go after them. Because you don't know the type of person that you'll be if you never go after it, and you're just, in your 50s or whatever, you just got a bunch of what ifs. This guy was probably, how old was he when he tried to assassinate him? I don't know, but he probably hated what he was doing. He's in some shit dead-end job, just so upset every day, hated going to work, fucking Mondays again, god damn it. He's just, every day he's at his job, just dreaming of playing the guitar up on the stage. Like, he probably went insane. Jodie Foster, that fucking story makes no sense. It makes no sense. He's probably just watching fucking Taxi Driver after a long shift and he was just hating his life, and he was like, Jodie Foster looks hot, and then he rubbed one out and just cried himself to sleep and went back to work the next day and was like, you know what, fuck this. He probably tried to assassinate the president, hoping he would get like shot because he hated his life, because he wasn't fulfilling his true destiny, which was to play guitar in Brooklyn, which he's finally doing. Like, I kind of feel, I feel happy for him. I really don't feel anything towards this guy. I mean, he's probably a really lonely guy. I mean, if that's how you're branded, is like, I tried to kill Ronald Reagan. He's probably not crushing it on the dating apps, Older guy just trying to surf Match.com. It's got to be tough. I know people on Match.com. You got, like, you Google everybody before you go out on a date with them. Imagine you type in this dude's name in. John Hinkley Jr. Huh. Well, do you go out on a date with him? Do you go out on a date with John Hinkley Jr.? I think you do. I think at this point, you went for Reagan. He's not going to try to assassinate you. Like, he's not like a mass murderer. He was just a little misguided because he wasn't following his truth, or whatever fucking white girls in Brooklyn say. Anywho, that's the podcast this week. Thank you so much for listening. Next Yard Bar show isn't for quite some time, but I have a show at the Comic Strip on Thursday that's kind of important. I'm auditioning. So if you want to come to that, hit me up. I could really use some support and some laughs there. So, yeah, hit me up. If not, see you next week. Thanks so much. Thanks.